Hello and welcome to our first ever BrunelPlus Virtual Award Ceremony. We've never done anything like this before, so do bear with us in case we encounter any unexpected technical difficulties. I hope you can all see me and hear me loud and clear. It's great that so many of you have logged in today. I hope that you and your families are keeping well in these rather strange and genuinely unprecedented times. I know these words have been used ad nauseum to describe the situation we are in, but honestly, I couldn't find any other adjectives to describe the current situation. I'm of course Simone Jansen, and I manage the BrunelPlus Award and the Ready programme. I will be joined today by my co-presenters, who are my colleagues from the Professional Development Centre, and they will tell you a little bit about their area and how you can boost your BrunelPlus point score, but also how you can boost your employability. If you have any questions for us during the course of this webinar, please use the chat button to type your queries, and we'll try and answer your questions at the end of the session today. Also, if you have a comment, please do fire away and we'll try and make it as interactive as possible. You know, social distancing is something I have never heard of nor experienced in my lifetime. That is until the 23rd of March, the day our world changed overnight. All restaurants, schools, clubs, offices, and virtually every sector of our economy was affected by COVID-19, and life for us changed in an instant to a new normal. A nationwide lockdown was imposed, and we were all expected to stay at home. And the bustling city of London went from this to this, a deserted ghost town. And how can we forget the panic buying in the early days of this pandemic? We stockpiled everything from disinfectant to pasta. It was reported we spent an extra, wait for it, £60 million during the first week in March. And guess what? £18 million of this was spent on loo roll alone. But more bizarrely, we saw the revival of the Happy Birthday song. It even made it to the #1 spot of my household's lockdown playlist. Nonetheless, some very interesting and apt titles on this list. You know, these are actual song titles, quite befitting the current crisis. I think the titles that resonate with me is Don't Stand So Close to Me, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, Stay Clean, and of course, I Will Survive, because I genuinely believe that we will all get through this. In any case, the point is you all had to adapt very quickly to meet the demands of this new normal. And it's been remarkable how quickly you learned to get the job done while working from home. And you did that by, working from home to the same standard as before, which is a testament to your can-do attitude. And for those of you wondering, that is actually my cat Timmy, under whose very watchful eye my daughter is completing her piece of work, no doubt, to the highest possible standard. But the bottom line is, none of you got complacent during lockdown. You acted fast and found ways to boost your BrunelPlus points while working from home. You see, you had the right attitude, and some of you put your skills into action by engaging with the United Nations online volunteering program. Others volunteered for the NHS, and most of you completed at least one online course during lockdown. You were determined to enhance your employability skills, and you weren't going to let an unseen virus come in between you and your ambition. One of the most likely interview questions you can expect in the current climate is, tell me, what did you do during lockdown? I'm pleased to say that each and every one of you will have something amazing to say. Thankfully, modern technology allows us to keep in touch with each other, albeit in a virtual world. So, being the professionals that we are at the PDC, we were also not going to let a global pandemic and a nationwide lockdown deter us from celebrating your success on the BrunelPlus Award. And here we are in the virtual world, giving you the kudos that you absolutely deserve. So for the benefit of our students who are not currently enrolled on the BrunelPlus Award, but have logged on today, I'd like to give a brief overview of the scheme. So BrunelPlus is part of the Professional Development Centre, or the PDC, where our mission is to help increase your employability. And we do that by providing you with opportunities that can help you to develop the skills that you will need to be selected for a graduate role. So the award aims to prepare you for the transition from education to work by encouraging you to take part in lots of extracurricular activities. And we award you points in return for each activity. Employability skills are becoming as important to employers as educational achievement. So you're asking, okay, so what are recruiters looking for? Well, where do I begin? The list is rather long. So the ideal applicant for graduate roles will be a well-rounded and dedicated individual who can work well on his or her own, but also as part of a team, can demonstrate confidence, has good analytical and interpersonal skills, is a great communicator, is respectful, loyal, presentable, adaptable, has a can-do attitude, and so much more. And that is precisely why we at the PDC encourage you to take part in a variety of extracurricular activities. Apart from the obvious of acquiring transferable skills, it tells the employer a story of who you are and what causes you care about. In combination with good grades, you can prove that you have effective time management skills. You can also demonstrate that you are successful both inside and outside of the classroom, but crucially, it can set you apart from a pile of CVs that mainly list academic achievements. Did you know, on average, there are 85 students chasing one graduate vacancy? So your CV really needs to stand out for it to be read, let alone you being shortlisted for interview or indeed offered the job. So the BrunelPlus Award doesn't only give you recognition for all your extracurriculars,
Simona, I think you might have muted yourself.
Right? Okay. Should I do this slide again?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so
thank you.
No worries, no worries. So, so basically, this slide talks about that the BrunelPlus Award gives you a step-by-step guide to the job recruitment process, and and it forms part of your HERE transcript. So your HERE transcript is basically a transcript where you're able to showcase your non-academic achievements in addition to your academic successes all in one place, completely verified and attested by Brunel University. So that's what employers want, and that's what ultimately will help you to stand out when you're ready to enter the graduate jobs market. So really, it couldn't be easier. You just log all your activities onto your BrunelPlus account, and to access that, just simply Google BrunelPlus, and we're the first item on the list. And activate your account by signing in with your student number and your network access password, and go on. make every extracurricular activity count for you. Now, the award has two stages. So the way this works, very briefly, is that in the first stage, you simply choose activities from 3 out of 4 categories, and you record what you've done on your BrunelPlus account, and you start earning points straight away. In the second stage, that is after you have earned sufficient points for an award, you will be invited to complete various follow-up requirements. For example, you may be asked to send us an up-to-date CV to tell us how you've developed during the academic year in order to gain the award. You then meet with one of our fabulous careers consultant who will provide you with feedback and may suggest ways how you can improve upon your CV so that when the time comes, you stand a very good chance of being shortlisted for interview. And each level of the BrunelPlus Award has a different set of deliverables that you must complete in order to gain the award, but also to proceed to the next level. And these exercises are intended to help you to not only think what you want to do post-Brunel, but also to help you to recognize and articulate the skills that you already have, identify skills that employers want, but crucially, identify any skills gaps and, find ways to address these while you're studying here and well before you start applying for graduate roles. And there is always a careers consultant by your side guiding you through each of those steps. And, that way, when the time comes, you can say with confidence that you are indeed more than your degree. So, depending on the number of points you've earned, you can gain either the bronze, the silver, or the gold level of the award. Students on the BrunelPlus Award have cumulatively taken part in thousands of activities in the 2019-2020 academic year. And to date, we have awarded over 763,000 BrunelPlus points. This year, a total of 371 students were successful in gaining an award, of which 195 of you earned the bronze, 107 of you were awarded the silver, and 69 of you were successful in gaining the gold level of the award. Now let's put that into context. The award is open to all undergraduate and master's students. This year, there were over 14,000 eligible students, and only 371 of you were successful in gaining an award. That's just 2.5% of the entire student population. This truly is a testament to your can-do attitude, because completing the BrunelPlus Award, I can assure you, is no walk in the park. It requires commitment and discipline, but above all, it requires the determination to fit everything into the same 24-hour period that is available to all of us every day. But you managed to fit everything into the set 24-hour period in addition to your already jam-packed day, heavy workload and exam stress. One of the key things you learned on the scheme is how to prioritize your workload, how to time manage yourself, but above all, over the last few months, you learned the importance of remaining flexible and adaptable to meet changing work requirements. Welcome to the real world. So, without further ado, I'd like to present to you our Bronze Award-winning students for the 2019-2020 academic year. Our bronze winners earned a minimum of 500 BrunelPlus points and submitted a CV to obtain feedback from one of our careers consultants. And the winner of the BrunelPlus Bronze Award are Huge congratulations to you all. Can I request my fellow presenters to unmute their mics and join me in a resounding round of applause?
Congratulations!
Thank you. Moving on to our silver winners. You earned a minimum of 1,000 BrunelPlus points by engaging in various extracurricular activities. You completed an automated video interview and obtained feedback from one of our careers consultants. You know, graduate recruiters frequently use this method to shortlist candidates into the final round. And in the current climate, as we're all working from home, you can expect to see a substantial rise in the use of video interviews. It gives me great pleasure to present to you the winners of the BrunelPlus Silver Award. And you are huge congratulations again, and another round of applause for our lovely silver winners, please.
Yeah. Great job.
Right, I'm now going to hand over to before I go on to announce our gold winning students, I'd like to hand over to my colleagues from various areas within the PDC. They will present some extracurricular activities that you can engage in to, well, boost your employability chances as well as your BrunelPlus point score and, you know, hopefully reach the goal level of the award. Please welcome the Director of the Professional Development Centre, Jonathan Bainbridge. John, over to you.
Thank you very much, Simona. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first virtual awards. And we haven't had too many technical problems at all, so I'm delighted that so many of you could join us today. And a huge congratulations to all our award winners today. So whether you've won bronze, whether you've won silver, whether you've won gold, huge congratulations. And I suppose from the PDC perspective, there's a whole range of different things to engage with when you're at university. As Simona said, there's 24 hours in a day, but you have a huge number of pools on your time. So how you do all those extracurricular things and make you stand out from the crowd. I think all of you, hats off to all of you for managing to do that for the past year, and it might be the past 2 years, past 3 years as well. It will stand in huge benefit when you enter the job market. And of course, the job market's quite different now, so even more so how important that is, and how you stand out and can showcase all the extra skills you've developed to create that kind of well-roundedness that we're looking for when people are recruited into new roles. I think a huge congratulations. In terms of, I'm going to say just a very few brief words because today's all about you and you know the significant achievements that you've made in terms of completing one of the awards. But the PDC really, that I wanted to just highlight that we're here for absolutely all of you, and for any of you graduating this year, and we are here for 3 years after graduation, so your journey doesn't stop with us in terms of how we can support you. So when you take those first few steps into the working world, we're absolutely here to support you. You all have a linked careers consultant. If you're looking to start a business, you'll hear from all the different services that we provide. And hopefully most of you would have accessed a good number of our services before, and that's how you build up some of your points. But I just wanted to flag up, in case people didn't know, some of the extra things that you can do whilst at university and afterwards. So clearly we have all our career support, so you're going to hear from one of our fabulous career advisors about all the amazing things and support that we can offer you. And everything we do is now moved virtually, and will transition over the next 6 months to 12 months and adapt to however this whole new world is going to evolve. If you're involved in placements, we have a whole placements team which can support you in terms of getting that crucial experience to give you that extra step in terms of helping you transition into work and build up your fantastic CVs and your LinkedIn profiles. We have part-time work off campus, and there will be opportunities on campus as we go forward. Nancy's going to be next and talking about all the wonderful activities that we do within volunteering, and there's been quite a lot more volunteering opportunities, particularly in the health sector at the moment. For those budding entrepreneurs, we have an Entrepreneurship Hub which supports you either to become self-employed or start your own business. For those of you that like to build up your language skills, we offer one of 9 foreign language classes. Many of you would have undertaken those, and you would have built up a whole range of extra skills as we move into this more globalized world. So how you can access and put to good use some of those language skills. And then you have all the extra kind of employability initiatives. This is one of the big ones, BrunelPlus. We have our Ready program if you're returning to us next academic year. It's mainly for first years, but if you're moving on to postgraduate study, you can access that. We support with summer placements and mentoring. So there's a real broad breadth of things. But the crucial thing is, which what all of you have demonstrated is, we have all of those opportunities, but it's crucially you having the chance to take up those opportunities and really get your teeth into them and benefit from them. Next slide, please, Simona. Thank you. And I thought I'd just finally finish off in terms of the department and the team in terms of how we support you. We have been recognised for some of our work, so this is my chance to slightly showboat and highlight all the hard work the team are absolutely dedicated in doing in terms of, you know, the one reason that we're all here, and that's because of you, and that's to support you, and particularly at this time of year. If you're graduating or you're seeking placements, we are all here to support you. That's the whole purpose of us being here. And I've just put up some of the recognition that we've kind of achieved, and I've put under there entrepreneurship. So obviously our students do exceptionally well. So all of you going out there, and you really can change the working world and put your ideas to fantastic use. And one thing I'd say just before we hand over to Simona is that, crucially in the current situation we're in, the most crucial thing is how you respond to that, and it's going to be hugely challenging in many respects. But as Simona touched on, it's really how we respond to that and how we seek out those opportunities and be a bit flexible and a bit creative as well. So huge congratulations. I won't go any more because otherwise I'll be going on for ages and you'll get a little bit bored. But just want to say huge congratulations, and we'd love to see you and continue to support you through the journey as well. So thank you very much, and I'll move on to Nancy.
Thank you, John. Yeah, Nancy, I'm putting up your slide.
Fabulous. Thank you, Simona.
There we are.
Wonderful. Can I just say thank you to John for those words, and a massive congratulations to all BrunelPlus Award winners, bronze and silver that we've seen thus far, and gold award winners to come. So as highlighted by Simona, building in extracurricular activities is really crucial, in building a portfolio in today's graduate work environment. And at Brunel Volunteers, we are here to support and enrich, to help you enrich yourself through and the lives of others through volunteering. Simona, could you move on to the next slide, please? According to the National Council for Volunteering, approximately 80% of employers will look more favourably on an applicant who has volunteered whilst engaging with their university studies. So volunteering is very key in building your BrunelPlus points and award. So 62 organisations worked with Brunel Volunteers this year to help 577 students build their volunteering portfolio, and between them accumulate 14,000 hours. So the volunteering department is here to help and support you in any aspect of your volunteering journey. It may be that you started volunteering before coming to university and are continuing and want to have your hours added to your here. Please come and see us, we can help with that. It could be you're looking to start something new, get involved in a new activity. We have a fabulous website that highlights all the opportunities that we are able to provide. Of course, we've mentioned that your volunteering hours build towards your BrunelPlus Award, but they will also build to a Brunel Volunteers Recognition Award. And we will be able to celebrate your successes in achieving this alongside your BrunelPlus Award. And of course, it goes on to your here. So every activity that you engage in on a voluntary basis will be documented on a line-by-line basis on your here. So when you graduate, on your achievement record, you have something that says, I've done this. And volunteering is a great way to make friends, gain new skills, have fun, just really get involved. If you're new to volunteering and want to sort of start off with something that's linked to maybe being on campus when we return, but we also have a number of online activities now where charities and community groups are reaching out because they need help and support to provide that much needed, sometimes companionship, maybe help with advice services online. So please do feel free to contact the team and we'll be able to help you. So if we could just move on to the last slide. This is how you can get in contact with us now during these times of uncertain times, as we've all highlighted today so far. So you can email us, you can look at our website, join our Facebook group and our Twitter, and follow us on Instagram. So a massive congratulations to everybody who's achieved their BrunelPlus. Continue the great work. If you're volunteering already and you've not made contact with either myself or Simona through our services, come and see us, come and join us. It's never too late. We can start building your volunteering record and you'll have that with you for the rest of your time with us. So thank you very much and return back to Simona.
Thank you, Nancy. As Nancy said, do pop on, get in touch with us. At the moment, of course, it's only via phone, email and Skype. But, once we go back to some level of normality, pop into the PDC. We're located on the first floor of the Bannerman Centre, just above the library. And I have been told that we are a nice bunch of people. So do get in touch. Right, I'm going to hand over to Bertie Ross, who coordinates the Brunel mentoring program. Over to you, Bertie.
Right, hello everybody. Congratulations again to all the winners on all the hard work they've done as well. Got a couple of minutes just to explain about the mentoring program and earning Brunel Plus points. The Brunel Professional Mentoring is a career focus scheme and it started back in 2003 with just 6 students and their mentors. The program targets level 2 and 3 students and aims to help students develop vital employability skills necessary to compete for the best placements and graduate jobs. Some students are also weighing up whether to continue their studies. Mentors are well placed to support their mentees untangle these dilemmas around work and study and map a route that avoids those major pitfalls on the way. We know that people that set goals and plan tend to achieve more than those that do not. So having a mentor can help you plan the many steps and turns needed to navigate your goals successfully. Having someone who can help guide and advise you through university and beyond is an opportunity that's to be grasped. An opportunity over 200 students have taken so far this year on the mentoring program. We've been told as well, obviously from all the other speakers and the work that the PDC does, improving your interview skills and preparation for interviews helps build confidence and your ability to overcome the inevitable setbacks. COVID-19 has generated huge challenges in all aspects of our lives. So it's important to be well prepared for when conditions change and more opportunities for placements, internships and jobs become available. Perhaps it's better to start your preparations now with a mentor rather than later. The next slide, please. Thanks. Face-to-face mentoring meetings have been suspended until further notice because of coronavirus restrictions. So both programs operate primarily on the Mentornet platform. Normally, students on the face-to-face strand would meet their mentors monthly at their workplace. You can also earn points. Sorry, I've just missed a bit. Yeah, you can also earn points for your BrunelPlus Award by joining the program and taking an active role, firstly with a mentor, and also by engaging in events and activities organised by the program team, like mock panel interviews, presentation skills workshops, and mock group assessment exercises. You can now combine activities that improve your employability and also contribute to your BrunelPlus Award. Just getting back to the strands, there are two main strands within the program, face-to-face and e-mentoring. As I mentioned, the face-to-face meetings have been suspended until further notice because of the coronavirus restrictions, and both programs operate on the platform. Normally, students on the face-to-face strand would meet their mentors monthly at their workplace and earn points for regular engagement. Our mentors verify engagement so that points can be allocated appropriately. E-mentoring activities are monitored on Mentornet. I did notice that in the list of awards, we've already got some students on BrunelPlus who've taken part in the program. That's great. But moving forward, mentees can earn up to 200 points per year. And once registered and authorised, you will receive 25 points, and exchanging messages with your mentor will earn you more. More points are awarded for engaging with your mentor regularly in virtual meetings, things like work shadowing, assessment centres and mock interviews. Final slide for me. Show us that slide. Show us the next slide. Yeah, sorry, missed the phase there. The programme targets students from backgrounds underrepresented in higher education. Our mentees include carers, students from low-income families, students from Black and minority ethnic backgrounds, disabled students and more. For further details, please go to our website, and there's lots of information there about our target group and the work we do. Right now, though, if you're a level 1 or 2 student, you can register for e-mentoring now as an early bird. E-mentoring runs all year round, and so it's available for you to join now. You can select your own mentor from hundreds of profiles, and we've just added over 140 mentors from the face-to-face strand who have all agreed to help students affected by the drastic reduction in placements and graduate recruitment. So this is a real chance to get the help from an individual professional to help you map out your next steps during these rather unreal times. The face-to-face mentoring resumes in October, albeit with virtual meetings. Details will be sent out nearer the date. Please visit our website for more information about the program works, and particularly to hear what our students have to say about having a mentor. There are video clips and podcasts for you to listen to. If you've got any queries, I'm happy to answer the questions at the end, but you can also contact any member of our team. That's Crystal, Jenny or myself on the email address there. We look forward to you joining the program. Congratulations again. Wish you all the best in the next phase of your journey, and keep safe. Can I hand over to?
Thank you, Bertie. If you'd like to find out more about mentoring or would like to get involved, do send the team an email, and don't worry about making a note of all email addresses. There is a slide at the end which has all email addresses for easy reference, plus this presentation will be put up on your intranet pages, so no need to take notes. Right, I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Emma Gilbert, who looks after Brunel's employability and networking events. Emma, over to you.
Thanks, Simona. Hi, everyone. Congratulations, first of all. I think all the work that you've been doing so far for BrunelPlus and just continuing to push through, especially during the current times, is amazing. And well done to Simona as well for continuing to put the ceremony on, because, you know, supporting everyone and acknowledging their achievements is so important. So A bit about me. So my name is Emma. I work in the employer engagement team, which sits within the PDC. And basically throughout the year, we work with employers to get them on campus to meet you and promote various roles. That can be anything from part-time work, some internships, placements and graduate roles. So getting them on campus right now hasn't been a possible thing, given the current circumstances. However, we are continuing to do virtual events. So you may have recently attended the virtual careers fair. We're also hosting webinars, which have happened over the last couple of weeks and will continue to happen. So in the next couple of minutes, I just wanted to highlight really at these events, the key networking things that you can sort of think about or just bear in mind whilst you're at careers fairs or a drop-in session or a skill session. So if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, please. Okay, so the first point to remember is the people that you are engaging with, they're just people like you and I. And that it's important to have great conversations. So first of all, the representatives that we get on campus, they're here because they want to speak to you. So just relax and ask the questions that you really want to know. So being able to make a good impression is great, but just relax and ask questions that you want to know about the company, not just about the role. So at the end of the day, we spend more time at work than what we do at home, although the current situation isn't like that. But so you need to just make sure that their vibe, their current projects, their values, that they match with yours, not just the opportunities that they're giving you. Secondly, the university process is a whole learning experience in several ways. And one of those is sort of understanding what you want to get out by the end of it and what you want to do, which for myself, when I started at Brunel, I had no idea what I wanted to do as a career. I knew maybe the industry, but not what I wanted to do. Other people come in and they know exactly what they want to do. But for everyone on either end of that spectrum is just remember that not to judge a company by its industry. So for example, you go to a drop-in session or you're at a careers fair and you see a construction company and you think, oh, they want engineers, that's not for me. But that construction company, they're probably quite large. They probably have a HR team, IT, law, marketing, to name a few. So make sure you have those conversations and see if they have something that fits into what your goals are. So don't pigeonhole companies is the key. And then the third and final point is to keep updated on our events, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to have those opportunities. And the important thing is going to all of these types of events, you get BrunelPlus points. So make sure you put those in and claim your points. So you can keep updated on all of our events by the PDC Instagram page, that's at BrunelPDC. And you can also check the student intranet page and you can drop us an email there as well, careers-fairs@brunel.ac.uk. And that's all from me. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Emma. That was lots of useful information there. So remember, guys, do check the events section of your intranet site regularly to, be part and to take part in all those useful events and also boost up your BrunelPlus point score. Right, I'm now going to hand over to my colleague, Bridget Lavin. She's one of our fabulous careers consultants. I'm sure many of you already know Bridget in connection with your with getting your deliverables for the BrunelPlus Award signed off. So over to you, Bridge.
Thanks, Simona. Hi, everybody. As Simona said, my name is Bridget Lavin and I'm a member of the Brunel Careers team. And first of all, actually, thanks to Simona for your tireless work on BrunelPlus and for inviting me to speak to you all today at this awards ceremony. So those of you who've just received or are receiving your awards today will know that we in the Careers team have been busy these past months working with you on your deliverables. And I really enjoy my BrunelPlus work. It's great to hear about the skills you've developed, the experiences you've had, and also your growing awareness of what you want from your careers. I think BrunelPlus is an excellent standalone program. You've been hearing all about it and the fantastic ways that you can get involved. And I really hope that you've all been enjoying the experience and that you're also proud of your achievements. But for me, your involvement in programs such as BrunelPlus has the added and important advantage of helping you to stand out from the crowd. Gaining a broad range of skills and experiences of the type that you've heard about in different settings and often over a period of years. These are all hugely valuable to future employers, whether that be applying for internships or for your placement year or looking forward to your first steps into the graduate marketplace. You know, so for those of you who have worked with me, you'll often hear that, you know, you've absolutely more than met the standard for the Brunel Plus. Great job. Now let's look at how we can develop your CV or your interview technique with one eye on the graduate market. So thinking about those expectations. So the key thing we in the careers and the placements team always have in mind is, in a competitive job market, you know, the challenge for every applicant is to stand out from the crowd. And we're very much here to support you in achieving just that. So I join with my colleagues in congratulating you today on your tremendous achievement. Now, the good news is that you're all already well on your way. But my message to you today, if you hadn't already got a sense for it, is don't stop there. Okay, Brunel students do more. Oh, back a step, but Brunel students do more, and that's brilliant, but there's always more to do. So whether you've completed bronze or gold, keep going. You know, throughout life and career, we all continue to grow and develop through new experiences. But remember, you're not alone in your career journey. And Simona, next slide now, please, be fab. Oh, Simona, thank you. You know, so this is, so here we are. This is your team of careers consultants and placements. You know, we're on hand to support you throughout your Brunel journey, as well as your Brunel Plus. And as John said earlier, we will work with you for up to 3 years after you graduate. You know, the other thing to know is we work all year round, which means you can book in with us over the summer to discuss your career plans and how you can make the most of your Brunel Plus experience and much, much more. Okay, and on the slide you can see here, in addition to our wonderful photographs, is actually the link on how you can book in. So we look forward to working with you. And well, I think that's enough from me. So I'm going to leave you again with my congratulations, and my congratulations on behalf of the entire careers team. And I wish you all a happy and healthy summer. And I'm going to hand back to Simona now. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to hand over to Emily Arnold from the Entrepreneur Hub team. Emily, over to you.
Thanks, Simona.
There we are.
The Entrepreneur Hub helps students and graduates turn their ideas into business, and our primary focus is on startups and freelancers. Next slide, please. The team consists of 3 people, our 2 business consultants, Mike Herman and Emmy Bottinen, and myself, and we help to support students by providing free one-to-one business consultations, specialist advice within intellectual property, marketing and finance. We run workshops throughout the year as well as events, and we also run a venture competition where students and graduates can win up to £10,000 in venture capital. We run 2 schemes, a self-employed placement scheme where students who are required to do a placement within their degree can actually use this year to launch and run their own business with our support rather than working for a corporate firm, as well as a startup visa known as our graduate entrepreneur scheme, which is for the tier. This is for international students who wish to remain in the UK for 2 extra years after graduation, so they can actually launch and run their business with our support. That's everything from me. Please contact us if you have any inquiries, or go to our website brunel.ac.uk/hub. Thank you and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Emily. I hope you found the activities presented interesting, and perhaps you'd like to give some of them a go in the autumn term. Right, now I'd like to talk to you very briefly about the Ready programme, and this is worth 230 Brunel Plus points. John briefly touched on the Ready programme. It's actually a multidisciplinary employability course, and it focuses on a refugee settlement in Zambia. Refugees, as you know, don't have the luxuries we have available to us. So the challenge is to research the problems the refugees are facing and to design a sustainable solution to help them with their daily lives. So students in the past came up with some innovative problem solvers, such as reusable menstrual pads or a biogas cooking stove to combat pollution created by the use of, firewood and charcoal. Another cool invention was a solar-powered refrigerator, which allowed vital vaccines to be stored for a longer period of time in the camp, and so ultimately save lives. It's an inspiring 10-week-long program where you can not only design solutions to genuinely help thousands of people, but you're also able to enhance skills like team working, problem solving, public speaking, research, multitasking, and so many more skills, which, by the way, are an essential requirement for graduate positions. So, if you're interested, be sure to sign up in the autumn term. Right. This, my friends, is the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd now like to pay tribute to our gold winners. You earned a minimum of 1,500 BrunelPlus points by engaging in various extracurricular activities, and you completed a face-to-face interview to learn all about the art of being interviewed. And the winners of the BrunelPlus Gold Award are, drumroll please. If you're wondering, that's just me banging on my table in sheer excitement, but here are the winners. Huge congratulations to all our gold winners.
Really, really cool. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. Whoa, wait. What did you say? Goodness, I could almost hear some of you shouting at your screens. What? Why was my name not on that list? Well, yes. You're right, your name wasn't on that list. You see, it's your fault. You're leaving Brunel. I know you're graduating, but the bottom line is you're leaving us, so we wanted to give you a special slide. It gives me great pleasure to announce the names of our 2020 graduates who are also the recipients of the BrunelPlus Gold Award. And you are Ali Asghar Barmal, Asma Asif, Aisha Tunga, Bashir Lusahi, Daniel Gordon, Daniel Usilato, Danielle Totman, Danuta Lijaika, Desislava Markova, Dorani Vitilingam, Dominika Varetska, Edwin Timonen, Elena Andrea Christa, Fatima Ali, Gaurav Haris Kumar, Gregory Gable, Hamna Zahid, Harsh Parekh, Hilai Kahari, Hirain Rechura, Intan Ali, Yulia Pitu, Katie Conibert, Luke Tolchert, Mahnur Hussain, Mahnur Said, Marian Musa, Melis Omala, Michael Abu, Nearchos Tokas, Nikita Iachenko, Nur Khwaja, Olayinka Olasinde, Omar Enrique Mendez Zapata, Palvinder Kaur, Paris Riviera, Philippa Copeland, Rebecca Rubello, Rochelle Elder Musara, Ryan Uddin, Safia Khan, Sylvia Alves Felix, Stephanie Asalz, Yasser Idris, Zahra Ravji, and Zoe Bailey. Huge congratulations.
Congratulations. You are awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
Huge.
Simona, you've muted yourself again.
hold on, there we are. I don't know how that happens. Apologies, everybody, but huge congratulations to all of you, to our class of 2020, or as I jokingly refer to this cohort as the class of COVID-19-20. You know, with all our planning and strategies that we had in place to ensure you submit your deliverables on time, we could never have predicted this crazy situation. It has honestly been an emotional time for all of us at the PDC, as I'm sure it's been for you as students. It's such a shame that, you know, your last term has been cut short and that you weren't able to say your goodbyes to your friends, attend leaving events, and of course, your summer graduation. You know, as a parent of a year 13 student, I can just about begin to imagine the range of emotions you must be feeling, from, you know, being overjoyed to have finally attained a degree to trepidation about what the future may hold. Thankfully, all things come to pass and nothing in life lasts forever, be it the good or the bad. And, you know, this can be somewhat comforting as we move beyond the uncertainty of the past few months. So huge congratulations again from all of us, to all of you, from all of us at the Professional Development Centre. Congratulations again. Right, we are now going to begin our Q&A session. If you haven't already done so, do fire away your questions. Open your chat box, which is probably at the top right-hand corner on your screen, and fire away. And if you see a question already on your screen and you really want it answered, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because we will answer questions in order of popularity. So I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Connor. Connor, over to you.
Hello everyone, my name's Connor and I work in the PDC. I'm the Careers Graduate Intern and I've been here for about a year now, and I've been working on the BrunelPlus programme alongside Simona. So when you get your deliverables, chances are the emails from me. And yeah, just piggybacking on what everyone else has said, congratulations on whatever level you've achieved. It's a great thing, and I wish that when I was studying at Brunel, I did the BrunelPlus Award, and hopefully when I come back and do my masters, it'll be something that I take part in. But yeah, let's get started with this Q&A. Hopefully everyone has their cameras on, so we can at least put faces to the voices, and let's fire one. This one's one of my favorite questions, and I'm going to fire it over to Bridget. So Bridget, you good? I'm sending you live now. So this is from Diana, and it says, we might get John to tune in on this one afterwards as well, but how do you think that the current situation will affect employability for students and graduates? Mostly relevant to graduate schemes.
That's a really good question. I think, I mean, in the immediate term, obviously, in terms of lockdown, people are either, if you can, you're working remotely, or there are the instances of people kind of being put on furlough. There are, you know, there are immediately things where you think actually things may be on hold. But actually, I'm pretty confident about the future in that, in terms of graduate schemes. You know, you've got to be positive about these things in terms of looking forward in the autumn. Organisations will be recruiting for the following year, and you know, so you've got to be pretty bullish about it. And again, if you've been studying on participating on the BrunelPlus Award, then you've got all these fantastic skills and experiences. The key thing for me is about thinking, what can you do while we're in lockdown to boost your employability? You know, so we've heard about Simona talking about the various different remote programs, the virtual programs. There's a lot going on in the marketplace that you can keep doing, you know, so trust that while things may be on pause at the moment, you might be hearing about that in the marketplace. Don't let that stop you. You know, the key for me is thinking, how can I make the most of it? You know, in my talk a little bit earlier, I talked about standing out from the crowd, and actually it's about thinking, yes, Simona said, you know, what did you do during lockdown? And I would think there's a huge amount that you can do, even if you're at home, that can keep you moving forward, whether it's virtual workshops, taking part in webinars, looking to boost your commercial awareness, as well as then thinking about what kind of maybe volunteering work that you can participate in. So I remain confident and positive about the market, and I would encourage all students to do that too. It's really important. Things are going to kickstart again, and it's about being ready when we do pick back up. John, any thoughts from you?
I think, echoing Bridget, that's an excellent question, and I think this is the time for a bit of creativity. I suppose the only thing I'd add to that is that think about your network. So Bertie mentioned about all our mentoring programs. So this is a real chance to kind of develop your professional network. So keep in touch with employers, as Em was saying, have those conversations. And the other positive side I'd say is that the financial crash happened about 12 years ago in 2008. And actually at that time, there's still quite a lot of graduate vacancies that were left unfilled, despite the fact there was a big kind of change in our economy. So be vigilant and also be flexible. So if you look at certain industries are doing exceptionally well. So those of you, you know, logistics, digital, there's huge amounts of areas that are growing. So think creatively in this time. And often you know, in terms of crisis, there's opportunities for real innovation. And also, if you've had a business idea, so if you're in your part-time job and you're thinking, you know, I've always wanted to develop that business idea, we do have the entrepreneurship team on hand. So you could use them to kind of scope out and flesh out any ideas you've got for entrepreneurship. And, you know, do what you can and be realistic about what's there. And Connor mentioned is one of our graduate interns. There are other alternatives outside of graduate employment. So it might be further studies an option if that's distance learning, or if that's enrolling actually on a physical part-time or full-time course as well. So do think completely creatively about all the things you could possibly be doing.
Can I just echo that? If I jump back in, John, I mean, so in terms of those students who are currently graduating, there are students I've worked with who maybe had their start dates sort of delayed at the moment. But for any of you who participated in the virtual careers fair, you can see that there are organisations are still recruiting. So in terms of the current market, again, it's get active. Don't worry. Work with the careers team. We're here to support you. You know, we can help you kind of look at those avenues. You know, but there is activity, even if on the face of it you might think, oh, I think everything looks like it's on hold. There's so much going on, so go for it.
Fantastic, thanks for that, Bridget. And John, whilst you're online, I've got two questions. A quick one. Thinking about obviously the rise in virtual employment. Do you think that video CVs are going to be better or more utilised than paper CVs? So you got the rise of apps like Giggle, who are primarily recruiting through video CVs. Is that going to become more common?
Another very, very good question. So I think one thing I would say is that the digital aspect is going to play a huge influence. So in terms of your LinkedIn profile, so those of you that have been going through any type of recruitment, everything has moved onto a digital platform. If that's Zoom, MS Teams that we're using, assessment centres have been driven and literally moved onto kind of a virtual space. So I would definitely start to look at what your digital profile looks like. So I would imagine quite a lot of you, if not the majority, have a LinkedIn profile. So definitely start to, you know, bolster that up. You can obviously mention your award. If you're a bronze, silver or gold award winner, you can start to build up your recommendations. I think video interviews at the moment are not used hugely because there's other more effective ways of finding information. With a video, you have to wait for the whole video to play. Whereas if for recruitment, often you might be, when you're in positions of recruiting people for an organisation, as you launch into employment, you might have 50 applications. So there's a limit in terms of the time that you can look through things. And often, you know, you skim through an application, it might take initial skim of 40 seconds. Where to do that with a video is a little bit more difficult. However, you know, things are changing, so I would keep that in mind, but I would just have a slightly flexible approach and just give yourself a chance to boost your digital profile as well. So however that may be, so LinkedIn, if that's particularly LinkedIn, and then do keep an eye on for any trends as well. But at the moment, video interviews haven't had a major bit of traction, but I think that's a really good question, because that could be an opportunity for that, you know, to keep an eye on that as the kind of months roll on.
Fantastic. And I guess as our representative on the placement side as well, with everything going on currently, are placements going to be available to distance learners?
That's a very good question. So there's to give an indication of what we're looking at the moment, there's lots of conversations internally within the university about how we can support all of you to get work experience in a slightly different time. So what we will see a rise in industry-led projects. So where you might actually be on technically a virtual placement, however, you'll have a specific industry-related project where there'll be kind of a start, a middle and an end. You'll be expected to deliver something right at the end of that. And that's mainly be credit bearing. So that's one of the areas that we see expansion in. The other thing is virtual internships. They are around, but they're in quite early stages. And I think all organisations, we're starting to move more virtually in every aspect of what we do. And that's easier to do for small, shorter work experience opportunities. So we'll probably see a rise in that for small, shorter work experience. Still, I think for the 1-year placements, we won't see a huge amount of those for 1 year going completely virtually. So it'd be more those short, sharp work experiences and that kind of project-based experiences as well. That's the key area that we're looking to focus on, that virtual aspect.
Cool, thanks for that. So careers, I'll let you have a breather and we'll move on, but we'll come back to you because there's a few more good questions about careers. And everyone, we are getting all your questions about BrunelPlus. We'll get to them probably toward the end because chances are they apply to most of you. But let's go over to Nancy of Volunteers. Nancy, you there?
Yeah, hi Connor, hello.
Fantastic. A lot of people are wanting to know sort of to differentiate between BrunelPlus and the Volunteers Award. Can your volunteer points be used for your BrunelPlus, so on and so forth?
So the answer to that is yes. And we take full advantage of working alongside Simona and the BrunelPlus team. What we would do is encourage any students looking to volunteer. So to first off, come and register with Brunel Volunteers so we can get you recorded and set up to start off your HEAR and eVision record. If you're looking to volunteer, so looking for a new opportunity, again, we can help you with that. So we can also match you with an organisation, assist with your application to apply, help to monitor and track the progress of any volunteering applications that are sent through us. And then additionally, we would encourage you on a regular basis, at least ideally monthly, but sometimes that's not possible with student work and study demands, to record your volunteering hours with us. So that can be done by emailing your timesheet, which needs to be approved and signed off by the line manager or the coordinator of the volunteering organisation that you are supporting. If it's an on-campus activity, so if you volunteer with a Brunel Volunteers activity, we would automatically log that for you. And then as you're building your Volunteer Plus profile, to check in and look at the volunteering strand that is available. Simona and the team also, we chat to each other on a regular basis. So, you know, if there are any students that need their hours linking with the BrunelPlus, again, we would chat and discuss that with Simona. Volunteering is a really ideal opportunity to add those soft skills to your CV. And if you're a Brunel buddy or a student ambassador or maybe a student representative doing any work with the Union of Brunel Students, these are all strands that will contribute towards your BrunelPlus Award. And we often get approached by a number of employers where students have engaged as being a Brunel buddy. So supporting a new student as they're joining the university, helping to empower them on their journey to settle into campus is really highly regarded and makes a massive difference, you know, in terms of those skills that you would bring into the workplace. If you already volunteer, so if you've, you know, been doing something away from campus and thought, actually, do you know, I would really love this included in either my BrunelPlus or my Brunel Volunteers Award recognition, it's never too late to do that. We do have a cut-off date to record all volunteering hours so that it goes on your HEAR, which is the end of April every year. But if you miss that deadline, they can still be added. It can still show on your HEAR, on your transcript, which is, you know, really, really important in this changing market. I hope that answers that question sufficiently. I probably could go on for ages talking about volunteering, but I might have to draw a little line there.
Yeah, no, I think you got it. So what's up next? John, have you caught your breath? We might come back to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's far away.
So we've got a lot of people asking about where's the best place to go for improving your LinkedIn. Where's the best place to go for improving your CV? That's probably not the PDC, because we are the best place to go.
Obviously.
So any online courses, stuff like that. So yeah, what's your expertise?
Good. I'm loving the appetite as well for this. So there are lots of resources. Obviously, the first step, we do a lot of work within the PDC. And I said, if you're a current student, fantastic, you can continue to use us. If you're graduating this year, as I mentioned, you can use us for 3 years afterwards. And we do have some really good resources. The other thing that, you know, everyone's LinkedIn is bespoke to them, so it needs to be unique to you, and it's exactly the same principles as a CV. It needs to put you in the best possible light in a short and concise way, and it's best to have personal feedback from people that you trust. So we can obviously do that. So you can book in with our careers consultants, and we can review your LinkedIn profile. The other side of things, as I touched on, that kind of professional network, if you have people that work in certain industries, you know, they'll be in recruitment positions, ask them to have a look at it. You know, what do they look for in terms of a LinkedIn profile? If you haven't got one at all, there's lots of very good videos on YouTube that you can, in terms of just getting the basics. Many of them are actually put together by LinkedIn themselves. So you can look at some really kind of official rated ones in terms of how to put the LinkedIn profile together. But then come and see us, book an online appointment. As Bridget said, it's really easy to do. You can go online, put something together first of all, I'd suggest, and then sound out one of our careers consultants based on the sort of rough purpose that you want to use it for. So if it's a very particular industry, a particular role, and, you know, get some feedback. It's a working document, and as you build up your work experience, you know, it's a live document. You can just add further things to that.
Cool.
Can I just jump in as well? So LinkedIn did a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and they basically done a session on how to rock your profile, which had some great top tips. So if you haven't started, or you just want to give a refresh, then that'll be a great place to start before you take it to one of the team at the PDC to give it a closer look. So maybe I'll pass the link on and password to access that as well.
Fantastic. We've got 1 or 2 questions about the Entrepreneur Hub. Emily, are you camera ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's fire that live. So the question is, let me find it. We've gotten lost in all the Brunel Plus questions, which we'll probably get to afterwards. So Emily, is the Entrepreneur Hub, how long is it available to you after you graduate?
So we help students and graduates up to 3 years post-graduation. So you have 3 years after graduating to use our services.
Cool, short and sweet, I like it. So Simona, we've got a whole plethora of questions about the Brunel Plus. Are you ready?
Fire away.
Fantastic. So let's start off with probably the one that everyone wants to know. Certificates, what's happening with them?
Certificates will be emailed in due course, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. They will be emailed in PDF format, and it will take a bit longer because there's 371 certificates to be emailed. So I anticipate within the next 2 weeks, everybody should receive them.
Fantastic. That's good news. For the participants that aren't graduating this year, obviously they'll be back next year to start getting more points. Do the points carry over?
Absolutely, yes, they carry over, and you just basically pick up from where you left in this academic year. Everything rolls over.
Nice. And here's a good question, because obviously any work you do with your societies, that counts towards your points.
Yes.
What about stuff you do on placement?
If your placement is part of your degree, no, it doesn't.
Okay, interesting.
Because the Brunel Plus gives you recognition for all non-academic, all extracurricular. So anything extra, yes, you earn points, but if it's part of your degree, no.
Okay, cool. Oh, nice easy one here. Can LBIC students take part in?
Of course, yes.
Of course they can. Nice. So let's see, is there any
All
other?
you need is a Brunel student number, and LBIC students have a Brunel student number.
Nice. And oh, we got a hungry student here. Anything more than gold?
Oh, I'm afraid not at this stage. We are looking into this, but I suspect it won't happen in the near future.
They're already the top of the pile.
They're top of the pile.
Fantastic. So anything else? I think we've got most of them. Any quick one? Yeah, just a quick one for the Bridget's probably the best one to answer this. What about, so obviously loads of people come to us for their CVs and in preparation for a job, but what if they want to go on to postgraduate study?
Oh, well, there are plenty of resources on our website that you can have a look in terms of doing some research. In terms of thinking about different courses, so I suppose you've got to have a little think about different courses. Obviously, Brunel offers a huge range of postgraduate courses. So depending on what you're interested in, you might actually look to reach out to the relevant faculty, have a look on our websites and see what courses there are for you. Have a think about where you might like to study, and how you might look to use that. So again, I'd probably say book in to chat to your careers advisor, and we can talk to you about the different options available to you. But your first start might well be doing a little bit of research in terms of the different types of courses available to you. And again, I would always say, if you're thinking about postgraduate study, that's a fantastic way to keep developing your practical skills that will then also support you in relation to your job and kind of moving forward. But certainly we can get some links sent across to Simona so we can circulate those to you. But first things first, book yourself and use the link to the appointment system and book in and have a chat. But there are a whole range of different opportunities available to you.
Yeah, fantastic. And just to piggyback off the back of that, there's a lot of stuff on the website, but the intranet is the best place to go. Once you go on the external website, in the top right corner, there'll be an option to go on to student intranet. Go on there, and there's a lot of great resources we've got. Who out of the presenters is good with hear records, hear transcripts? Don't rush at once.
I think I can help with that.
Well done, Simona. We've got a few students wanting to know a bit more about their hear transcripts, their hear records. So let's get going. First and most easy, what is a hear transcript? It's
a higher education achievement record. And it's kind of a transcript that lists your academic achievements, so your grades basically, but also your non-academic achievements, like the BrunelPlus Award. So that award will go on the same page, if you like, as your grades. So and it's all attested and verified by Brunel University. So, rather than having a pile of separate certificates, you've got that on your transcript.
And I know obviously when I graduated, you do get a separate, so you get your graduation certificate and you get a separate sheet of paper, which is the transcript.
Which is the transcript, and it's on there, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
And you can check your hear entries via your eVision account.
Nice. And for stuff like, obviously you're the best person to come to for BrunelPlus and getting that added onto your transcript.
Yeah. And could I just make a brief point about volunteering? So the way it works is, because we had a question on volunteering earlier, so the way it works is, if you've been awarded the bronze level of the award, by Nancy's team, that equates to 100 BrunelPlus points. If you get silver, you get an additional 100 BrunelPlus points, which makes it 200 on the BrunelPlus Award. And if you get the Gold Award with Nancy on the volunteering, that equates to a total of 300 on the BrunelPlus Award.
Fantastic. And yeah, so obviously you're the best person to come to about BrunelPlus, stuff like that.
Yes.
When people need other stuff added to their transcript, where's the best place to go? So we've got one student asking about their society work.
So with any, is it all right, Simona, if I
yeah, go for it. Thank you, Nancy. Yes,
that's my pleasure. So with any activities linked to the Union of Brunel Students, so again, societies would fall into that category, please pop in and talk to the Brunel Volunteers team, and we will be able to add this via our link with here and being able to add to your here transcript. The only thing to add with this, and Simona touched on a little bit with regards to how things work with your placement. So if you're a member of a society and you're out fundraising or taking part in Union of Brunel Students events, anything on campus, and you're doing lots of extra stuff, you know, extra activities within your society, those activities and volunteering hours would all count, and we would be able to add those for you. If you are a committee member with a society and you're attending your regular committee meetings, those hours don't. They're part of the role of the administration process of the society, so they don't. But it's anything that's extra: community events, fundraising, perhaps taking part in things that happen regularly, like maybe housing fair, or if you're involved in like a Diwali event, anything along those lines. But feel free to ask the Brunel Volunteers, that team. They'll be able to guide you. And yes, union activities, come and talk to the Brunel Volunteers team and they can take it further for you.
Fantastic. Just a quick question to the presenters. Can you see the Q&A function or just the published questions?
We can see them all, Connor. New, published and dismissed.
That does.
I can't actually see the questions at all. So sorry if I'm fluffing a little bit when I'm answering questions.
I can't see the questions either.
Yeah, I'm flying blind.
In that case, I've got a lot of
Q&A. It's on the right.
Yeah, we've got a really good question. Bridget or John, which one are you up for it?
John, do you want to go first? You can see the questions.
We could tag team, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Love it. So do employers, so what this student's trying to get at is it worth paying for an online course? Do employers see that online course as being valuable, and is it worth paying for it essentially?
Good question. And there's a lot of online courses at the moment, so there's lots of temptation to all sorts of different things. I would say anything you put on your CV, you don't necessarily, it slightly depends. So if it's an official qualification, so professional qualification, often when you go to a job, they will ask for your certificates of your professional qualifications, just as proof and evidence that you've completed those. If it's a shorter course, then as long as you can speak about it competently at an interview, and be willing to be asked questions about it and respond so it's clear you've actually completed the course, then I think that helps as well. So it slightly depends on how long the course is. So if it's a substantial, for example, if you're doing professional qualifications in certain areas, then you might be asked to get charged for certain certificates. But generally, a lot of the shorter courses, if you're doing a short course, you know, if you're doing a Google Analytics course, for example, the fact you get a certificate or not get a certificate, you'll be asked to demonstrate your ability and show competence at an interview. So it slightly depends on what level course that you have. So generally shorter courses, I would say, you don't really need the certificates because you can explain enough about them. Just make sure you complete them, because you will be asked, if you put something on your CV, you'll often get asked about them. Bridget, I don't know if you want to chip in as well.
I think that's a great answer, and I will really just echo what you said, John. I think from my perspective, you know, often I will speak to students who maybe are interested in human resources, and if you're looking at opportunities, so this is in terms of the longer professional exams, you might see vacancies that say must be part CIPD qualified, and those are the professional exams. And I would usually say to students in that context, look, I would rather you get the job first, because it's expensive, it takes a lot of time, and I would rather you get the practical experience, get the job first, and then let them pay for the courses. That's the key thing, because sometimes students will say, I'm trying to get my foot on the ladder, so I'm going to maybe do one of these courses or get started on it, and I'll incur that cost myself, but I would rather say get the job first, let them pay for it. And then, as John was saying, maybe the shorter courses that you might think about. Now, my caveat with this, I would rather you think, right, what kind of there are so many free resources out there. I don't know if you're looking at keep checking your careers or your emails from the careers service or from the PDC generally, because we are the whole team, and Em and Shane, Jane's on the employer engagement side. We are sourcing opportunities and sending them out to you, and we'll continue to do that. If you can get that experience and the insight for free, as John said, to get it on your CV, it's a talking point, it's an interest point. If you can do it for free, that's what I'd prefer. But sometimes there are students who will take that commercial decision that they're prepared to outlay a small amount. I genuinely wouldn't want you to spend a huge amount just to get that point there. But the primary thing is, right, what kind of experience can I get? So combine that with virtual internships and the rest. But again, if you're not sure, come and chat to us in the careers team. Always an advert for careers appointments. Okay.
And can I just add that, the Open University is doing lots of online courses. So if you just Google Open Learn, you will see a huge list of free online courses. So that might be something you might want to consider looking at as well. Back to you, Connor.
Yes. So, John, I see cameras on, so that means I'm going to go to you.
Go for it.
How are people going to include the BrunelPlus Award in their CV?
So that's a really good question. So I think remind yourself about terminology. We're very good at universities about using all sorts of internal terminology that really don't mean anything to employers. So BrunelPlus won't resonate in terms of employers. So I would generally describe it as an employability award, and then crucially just unpack what you've done. So when you mention under extracurricular, you could say completed the Brunel Plus Employability Award, and if you've got bronze, silver or gold, and just then crucially explaining some of the key things you did to get that award, and the whole purpose of the award, and all of us have touched on that, and the premise behind the BrunelPlus Award is to recognise that you've not only done your courses, all the extracurricular activities, and actually for all our graduates going to the workplace, so many of the questions you get asked are about all your soft skills and how you often develop those outside of your courses through the extracurricular activities. So they're often a really good talking point for employers. So do put it on LinkedIn as well. I have to put a little plug in for LinkedIn, and do put it on your CV and badge it up as an employability award, and then crucially give evidence in terms of, okay, so what did you do? I did 30 hours of volunteering, I did 100 hours of volunteering, I was involved in a society, and just black and white facts of evidence. And again, that's a really good talking point at interview in terms of the various different skills that you developed on the back of that.
Can I just hop in with that one?
Go for it.
Awesome. That was absolutely brilliant, John, and I totally agree. The other thing that I would also say is, so the employability award and the way that you describe it, and you talk about the hours as John's just set out, that's a lovely way of bringing it all together. What I will look forward to seeing, and those of you who've worked with me have already seen this, is actually the detail and the examples. You might have a Brunel volunteers heading on your CV, and then you go into the detail, giving those examples that John was talking about. Maybe if you've done a student ambassador role, that's going to go within your employment experience or other experience. So actually you've got space to actually go into the detail. You've got 2 pages on your CV, and as you can tell by the overexcitement, I love this kind of work. Me and my colleagues in the careers team, we love this kind of work, and we're here to help you actually make the most of that experience. Sorry, I'll stop whooping and put myself back on mute.
No, it's always a pleasure, Bridget. So we've got a few more questions now, and it's really just about sort of how BrunelPlus is gonna how you can get the BrunelPlus experience to help you going forward. in your career search? Who wants to take that one?
I'm happy to take that one.
Fantastic, Simona. Let's go.
Okay. Well, by doing extracurricular activities, you've acquired a range of transferable skills. So, you know, you've got so much to talk about. You know, working part-time is another extracurricular and earns you points on the BrunelPlus scheme. So look at the skills you've learned on that one, or perhaps you're volunteering, or perhaps you did an online course, or maybe you visited a foreign country. You're learning so much by even doing a foreign travel. You're learning about the culture and you know, experiencing what makes, you know, the differences between, you know, their culture and our culture, and how to bridge the gap. So there's so many skills that you can put on your CV, and obviously you need to adapt your CV to fit the job you're applying for. But by doing a variety of extracurricular activities on the BrunelPlus scheme, there is definitely some skills that you can, you know, use for each and every application that you fire off, because it's so versatile, BrunelPlus.
Can I just jump in there? And first of all, my apologies. This is the kind of question I would normally hop in on straight away, but I've got an appointment in about 3 minutes, and I was just putting my Skype on, so forgive me, I wasn't tuned in. Thank you, Simona, for hopping in with that one. In terms of using your BrunelPlus experience, it's endless. I always kind of think, you know, it's about thinking about kind of the layering of skills that you've got that you can, you know, use to get to the next step, you know. So gosh, let's think of a few examples. You know, so you're busy getting your BrunelPlus points, you might be doing volunteering, you've also got your studies. If you're getting consistently good grades, as well as getting, you know, your doing all of these extracurricular, that's an example of, it shows employers that you've got good time management skills, that you can organize, that you're kind of getting involved in lots of different things. If you're volunteering, and I'm just picking ideas out here, you know, you're showing that you kind of engage in your community, getting involved as a student ambassador on campus. You know, you're representing your university. It's a type of advocacy. Communication skills. There are so, if you scan down job descriptions and you're looking at key skills that employers look for, the things that you're doing on your Brunel, this is why I like working with the BrunelPlus students. There are so many things to get excited about in terms of what you've done. You know, your team working, you know, these are some of the examples that you're coming up with, and it's learning to collaborate with people and using that then to show that you've got the skills that employers look for. And there's a real value to that, you know. So, you know, in terms of, we talk about the value of volunteering, that actually you can contribute and make a positive impact, you know. So you might be, hopefully you're getting involved in programs that you're interested in, you know, but at the same time, you know, that's something other employers think, right, well, if you can do that in terms of, you know, you get involved in volunteering or, you know, extracurricular activities that interest you, you're applying to my job, you're probably going to be interested in my job because you're applying to it. So I'm likely to get all of that lovely, all of those lovely qualities and experiences you're going to bring to the table as an employee. So it's sort of, I always like to say, unlike the financial markets, your past performance is an indication as to the future. So the things that you do in terms of your extracurricular or your employed jobs or whatever it might be, it's all about using that to point to the person you're going to be in that work environment. Sorry, that's a very long answer, but I hope that that helps. So I genuinely, BrunelPlus, you know, and all of the activities you get involved in, you absolutely can use as evidence to support your applications going forward. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go now, but any other questions, I'll happily answer later. Take care. Have a good summer, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing following Bridget's passionate reply there as well, and she's touched on a number of things, but if it's about you know, how can I engage within the BrunelPlus Award and with volunteering and with anything else within the PDC, a lot of students always ask me this, and you know, my first thing is connect with the PDC and connect with BrunelPlus. Talk to Brunel volunteers, register with us, and then you automatically pick up a wealth of opportunities that will come in either via email, via social media, by events that are organised, things that you can tune into on campus, and that really helps to basically entrench that process of BrunelPlus, Brunel volunteering, careers consultants, keeping in touch very, very early on. And the things that Bridget just mentioned, like networking, team skills, empathy, being able to relate to others, that all can transform into transferable skills when you are looking for work, you know, are key. And one thing that we do get, you know, sort of different inquiries now in terms about how can I learn to work in a team with others, not just with my peers, but with older people, with children, with adults with disabilities. You know, they're all sort of key things that can really help to shape on your CV. That's me finished.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And just to finish up on a few questions that are going to be relevant to everyone. Simona, we've got a few more BrunelPlus ones.
Fire away.
Fantastic. So let's see. A lot of them are asking slightly different things, but we can group them together. So if you've achieved the goal this year and you're still a Brunel student, is there anything left to, obviously other than your degree, is there anything left to achieve in terms of the BrunelPlus Award?
Well, the highest level at this point is obviously the gold level, and that stays with you, and you will take it with you when you graduate. But I would recommend carry on taking part in a variety of extracurriculars, because you don't want to kind of become stagnant and say, fine, I've achieved it and I'm going to rest on my laurels. Just keep going, because that can prove that you are successful both inside and outside of the classroom, and that you have excellent, you know, time management skills. And the more you do, maybe one of your extracurriculars makes you speak in public, like the Ready program. Look at the skills you're learning, because public speaking is nobody's born with it. It's an acquired skill. So I would absolutely carry on, even though you've achieved your goal.
Connor, can I just add in there with the Brunel Volunteers Award, that actually restarts. So we measure that per academic year. So if you get a gold, you know, this year, 2020, then you could go on, you know, when we start the new academic year, you would go on to build your gold award for 2021. And that is listed separately on your here. So if you wanted to add, you know, that additional value to achieving a gold on a BrunelPlus and your volunteering, you can continue to build and sort of cement that journey that is going to be visible to employers. That's it from me.
Fantastic, thanks for asking that and answering that even. And Simona, obviously it...
Can I just, I've got to go now, sorry. Just got to pull out. Just want to say thanks to everybody and have a good weekend, bank holiday weekend. It's been a really great session, by the way, Simona.
Thank you.
And I'll be chatting with you later to see what we can do in the autumn.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bertie.
And Connor, you're a star, mate.
Thank you.
I hope you're around sometime in November.
Yes, of course, for you.
All right.
I need to be going as well, but Simona, fantastic work, and congratulations all of our students. I think it's so great to see all the achievements that are happening, and Connor, master of ceremony skills as well.
Absolutely.
And I like the jacket as well.
It has subsequently come off, but thank you, I do try. But just to finish up, Simona, obviously everyone's going to be getting their certificates emailed to them, which is great. They'll still have something to show, especially when they go to interviews. What about the badges, the amazing badges that they could wear to their interviews?
We need to talk about that, what we do, whether we will, you know, we need to see how. We haven't really discussed that yet, so I'm
okay. So we'll see what we can do and work
we will see what we can do with the badges. Yes.
Fantastic. So that's all. We've got a few more specific questions. So if the presenters would like to go into the Q&A function, I'll publish them. Then you can type your reply to them, if obviously it applies to you. But for now, that's the Q&A done. Thank you for everyone for answering, and we've got some really good information, and hopefully all the students got what they wanted out of it. So Simona, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Connor. If your question wasn't answered, send an email to one of the email addresses you see on your screen. And as I mentioned earlier, we will put this presentation up on your intranet pages so that you have it all for easy reference. Right, so we are coming to the end of our presentation, but before I go, I wanted to say a few thank yous. So huge thanks to my colleague Daniel Perryman from the media services team for setting up this live stream for us today and making it work seamlessly. Thanks to all our speakers, to John, Nancy, Bertie, Emma, Bridget, Emily, and of course Connor for helping out with our Q&A session just now. And finally, a massive thank you to Neil Graveny for putting together a short slideshow, kind of like a little short video for us, which you will see at the end of this presentation. But you know, most importantly, I'd like to thank you, our students, for joining us today. It was an honor to accompany you on your BrunelPlus journey. The commitment and dedication you showed throughout your time on the BrunelPlus Award was exemplary, and there is no doubt in my mind that this dedication will take you on a new height in life. For those of you graduating this year, we will miss you and hope you will stay in touch with us to let us know about all the amazing things you're doing. And, you know, as John said earlier, the Professional Development Centre is here to support you for up to 3 years after you have graduated, because after all, our mission at the PDC is to help you #unleash your potential. Enjoy the slideshow, which Connor will put up shortly, and click on the link in the chat box. This has been especially produced for you to celebrate your success and to show you your highlights over the past 12 months right here at Brunel University. From all of us, it's goodbye and farewell.